Is there a difference? What is the difference? Let's talk about it right now. Now, this is an open discussion, so feel free to drop a comment. Let's educate each other. And now, to start off, me personally, I'm not so attached to the name Freeform Locs. You know I title my YouTube my YouTube videos as Freeform, but you know, if you want to consider it semi-freeform, I have no problem with that. But you know, a lot of people take it more serious than I do, and I've noticed that in a couple Facebook groups, I've gotten some comments where maybe I'll post a video about separating my hair, and I kind of get criticized for claiming that I'm freeform when the true essence of freeform is not separating your hair at all, which I totally understand. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because I do believe that there are levels to it. Like, yeah, semi-freeform, that's cool. That's cool, Zachary. But I think there's levels to it. There's people that absolutely don't touch their hair unless they're washing it. They let it do exactly what it wants to do. No manipulation whatsoever. That is the truest essence of freeform that you can get. But I just consider mine, they're just natural dreadlocks that I separate as I go. I don't twist my hair. I've only separated it like 3 times. Yeah, sure, it's semi-freeform. I mean, you can call it what you want. But I kind of want to just make this video to, oh, there's a bee right here. But I just wanted to make this video to, you know, hear other people's opinions and kind of bring some clarity to the subject or to the topic, because I mean, it's a big deal to some people. I'm not too attached to the name Freeform. I mean, it is what it is, but I do respect the community, and yeah, I mean, it's my hair at the end of the day. Yeah, wash and leave it, like Bob Marley said. But here's the thing. In my opinion, I've looked at a bunch of old pictures of Bob Marley, and to my eyes, it looks like when he was first letting his hair lock, that he might have separated, you know, as he was going along in his journey, and then at one point later in his journey, he just stopped and completely let them just Congo up. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. I mean, nobody truly knows except maybe some of his family, but that's what it looks like to me. And there's a lot of, you know, celebrities in the past, like maybe Basquiat or something, that we don't know if they separated their hair. So we don't know if they're 100% freeform. They just had unique natural dreadlocks. So I think, you know, I honestly don't know where the name Freeform came from and when it started. So somebody please let me know, whoever came up with that name. But when people first started letting their hair lock up, I'm sure there was no freeform versus semi-freeform. Like if somebody wanted to separate their hair at one point, that they would get, you know, put in a box because of that. I highly doubt that. Somebody educate me if I'm wrong, but you know, I just see them as dreadlocks, natural dreadlocks. But I know in today's day and age, like with YouTube and everything, there's separate titles you can put on it. Like somebody like TheDred, if you've never seen his YouTube channel, check him out. He would be like 100% freeform. Like he has like 3 dreadlocks, and they're just huge Congos. They're never separated, and that is what I would consider the 100% freeform. But somebody like me, you know, for the first 2 years, I was 100% freeform. Didn't manipulate my hair at all, no separating. But after 2 years, I did a little bit of separating, and so at that point, I guess I would be considered semi-freeform, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get some clarity on things. So for anybody who knows where the term Freeform Locs started, please let me know. I think it's really interesting, and I think there's a lot of people in the community that would have the same question. I mean, we can all learn from each other, so it's all good, man. But yeah, man, I don't see any comments, but yeah, I've considered semi-freeforming. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it, but you just do what you want to do with your hair. That's That's what I believe in. Do what you want. You know, I will admit, like, YouTube has an influence on me saying freeform locks, using that term. You know, it's a part of the videos I make, and like a lot of the same advice and tips that apply to 100% freeform locks applies to people that separate their hair and would be considered semi-freeform. So it kind of just makes it easier to kind of circulate, for the content to circulate and people to get the message. And see, here's the thing with semi-freeform. People that twist their hair or do 2-strand twists or whatever originally, and then they just leave it alone and let it freeform from there, they're also considered semi-freeform. Now you're starting with manipulation, so that's a whole different thing. So is that the exact same thing as what I do, where I would let it naturally freeform for 2 years and then I just separated afterwards? I mean, that's a little bit different, but are they all called semi-freeform? That's what I'm saying. So when we get stuck on these names, it kind of complicates it a little bit. I like to consider mine natural dreadlocks. And like I said, on YouTube, you know, I use the term freeform locks. You know, hope it doesn't offend anybody, but you know, it is what it is. So sure, semi-freeform, whatever you want to call it. You know, I respect the community. Anybody who might, you know, have a much more spiritual connection to their hair, I get it. Let me check these comments. Can you react to a video? It's called The Problem with Freeform Locks. That's what I'm doing, starting with 2-strand twists. I saw that video. It's the guy with the twisted locks. I saw that video. And I saw Dami Congo's, he reacted to it. That video, I mean, it was kind of clickbaity, because he wasn't saying that they're bad. He was just saying why he doesn't like them. He was just explaining his perspective on freeform locks and why he doesn't want them in his life. Like, he was just saying that he doesn't want his hair to hold him back from any opportunities in life, and he likes the more manicured, clean look. So yeah, that's his prerogative. Like, it's all good. But it was clever the way he did it, though. The way he titled it, it was kind of like clickbaity, but it's all good. That's the YouTube game. But yeah, man, I don't really have much else to say. I'm hoping that people in the comments drop some knowledge on the history of the term freeform locks, because that's something I'm really interested in knowing. I haven't been able to find any info on it myself, but like I was saying in the beginning, you know, the beginning of time when people were just letting their hair naturally lock up, and even with the beginning of like Rastafarian culture, you know, I'm sure there was people that separated their hair a little bit, and it was just dreadlocks back then. They just had dreads. I don't think they were twisting it, but I'm sure they were separating it as like sometimes. So, and I'm not saying everybody did, but I'm sure there were some people that did. But yeah, it's levels to it. I get it. There's definitely levels to it. What we got in the comments? You have one of the best locks on YouTube, bro. Much respect to you and your journey. I appreciate that, Sean. I really appreciate that. I honestly think that freeform is the best and most natural way to express themselves and do it in confidence. Yeah, no, I get that. Because honestly, that's why I have so much respect for the people that just let it lock up and don't manipulate at all. Because me personally, it was at a point where I didn't like the way it looked on me. And that doesn't mean I wasn't confident. Like, I'm a confident person, but I still wanted my hair to look a certain way. I have no problem admitting that. So that's where the manipulation comes in. That's where the separating comes in. I still want like kind of wild freeform, semi-freeform locks, but just letting it grow and just do whatever, it was all matted up into like 3 sections, and it was difficult to dry when I washed it. and it just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it that much, you know. But everybody has a different journey, and I have so much respect for the people that are just like, yo, I'm just gonna let my hair do whatever. This is me accepting and embracing everything about myself and the way the Creator made me. I totally understand that. And we all have different journeys, and we all should respect those different journeys. So that's how I feel about it. Started my journey from wavelength. My mom passed, and I want something to grow with me because she physically can't now. Respect your journey, fam. That's deep. Yeah, that's what's up. And it's things like that. You know, people having different reasonings for growing their hair out. It's a beautiful thing. Because at the end of the day, like, all this name stuff, all these different terms, that's little. That's so minor compared to the bigger picture. Like, all of us that are growing our hair out naturally, it's all one community at the end of the day, because we're all embracing our natural features in a world that, especially if you're in the U.S., that typically kind of shuns that and has held people back from opportunities in the past. You know, it's becoming more accepted now, but you know, it's bigger than you know, a term, a name, semi-freeform, freeform. You know, it's bigger than that. I semi-freeform, but I just love to see Freeform Locs on YouTube. That's dope too. That's how it started for me. I came into some videos. It was Not Nation's channel, and I was just watching his videos, and I just loved the look of it and all the different shapes and sizes of the locks, and you know, it was just really cool to me. And I was like, right away, as soon as I seen the first video, I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do that to my hair. And I was all in. And you know, I haven't looked back since. I mean, sure, I've done a little bit of separating here and there. I think like 3 times, but yeah, I mean, my hair is, at the end of the day, it's growing naturally out of my head. And yeah, I like Dreadlock 23's dread. His are dope. Yeah. I'd be wondering if he separated his hair, because it didn't like all grow into one thing. It's got its own sections. So I'd be wondering if people like that have ever separated. I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, but you know, he's another guy who says Freeform Locs, and his locks are really cool. He's been growing them for like, what, 10 years or something? 8 years? It's crazy. My mom won't let me get freeform or semi-freeform. I have to keep them maintained, but it's fine. At least she lets me have locks. That's true. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you're living with your parents and you're younger, they have a lot more say in your life and things you do. So I get it. There was a point in my life when I was like 14 where my parents wouldn't let me, well, my dad really, he wouldn't let my hair grow out too long. He was always, you know, telling me, he was raised by military, so he was always telling me, you know, you got to keep a clean cut, you know, as a black man in America, all that conditioning type of stuff. But it's all good. The times are changing, man. Times are changing. Yo, working on my semi-freeform towel dreads, dope. That's what's up. There's another method that people use. They use the towel and they rub their hair. For me, I used a lot of aloe vera in the beginning of my journey, and I was just washing in a circular motion. Like every week, I was just constantly washing. Never twisted. I never separated at all. I was just washing and keeping it clean and stuff. I didn't really use any oils. My hair is freeform, but I consider them just dreads. 4 months on the journey, and you're the guy who helps the most. Thank you, fam. That's what's up. That's my guy right there. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, they're just, me at the end of the day, I just consider them, you know, they're just dreadlocks. They're locks, whatever. That's a whole nother conversation, not calling them dreadlocks and all that. Hey, Bob Marley called them dreads, I'm gonna call them dreads. That's the GOAT right there. Why do you think that only one of your brothers has locks and not the other? Well, that's simply because they have different hair textures. So one has more more kind of, I don't want to say nappy, but you know, more coarse hair, I guess you could say, like tangles up easier. And yeah, his hair was just, it was hard to maintain for my mom. So I was like, Mom, you should just let it lock up. And this was when I decided to let my hair lock up. And at one point, you know, she hesitated for a while, but then finally she was like, all right, let's do it. And then she started letting it freeform. And yeah, now it's locked up. He's been locking his hair up for longer than me, I think, actually. Or no, just about the same. Just about the same amount of time. His hair was longer though when he started. But yeah, the other one, he has like long, like curly hair. He gets like braids and stuff. So plus they, you know, they're twins, but they don't have to look the same in every way. You know, they're fraternal twins too. So yeah, man. As freeformers, we don't fit in, we fit out. I feel you, man. Just started my journey using the sponge method for now, but will stop sponging when my hair gets longer. Okay, that's what's up. A lot of people use the sponge method, and I see there's like a whole nother community on YouTube that calls it freeform dreads, and they typically use the sponge method, and it's like a certain look to it. Like if you look it up on YouTube, it's like how to get freeform dreads. It's like they use the sponge or towel, and it's like a bunch of individual ones. Like it's like a whole nother community. It's pretty cool. It's usually like younger kids. And that's the thing, like all these names are just like, there's so many different terms and everything. So, you know, everybody's just doing their own thing. But the reason I used the sponge like once in my life, not when I was getting dreads, but way before I decided to lock my hair. I was just using the sponge just to like get a curlier look. And I hated it because it left like all these little particles in my hair. So I stopped using it after like a week. So I couldn't do the sponge, man. Just be careful. I like to call spiritual keys or antennas. Yep. They're definitely antennas. That's a fact. Just want to let you know you inspire a lot of people to be themselves and step away from the status quo. Appreciate you, bro. Blessings from South Africa. That's what's up, man. Comments like that make my day. I appreciate that, you know, because growing up as a kid, you know, I was always myself, but I used to not be so confident, and I would always just question myself and be hesitant to make decisions and everything. And so yeah, it's like knowing that I can positively impact somebody else just through my phone on social media is like, it's powerful, man. It makes me happy. I appreciate that. But yeah, man, this video will go up. It'll go up on my YouTube channel. So anybody watching this in the future, if you have any other comments on, hey, you made it just as I'm about to end. But if you have any other comments regarding the origins of freeform locks and where the term started, or even what you think the difference between freeform locks and semi-freeform locks is, or if there's different kinds of semi-freeform locks, like a difference between a towel method and a sponge method, or getting 2-strand twists and then letting them freeform, or getting them like interlocked or crocheted and then letting them freeform. There's just so many different methods, or just separating. Are they all the same? Do you consider them all just semi-freeform? I don't know. But yeah, drop it in the comments. Make sure to like and share this video. I appreciate all of y'all. And until the next one, peace. Oh, and before I go, I will be interviewing Not Locs, aka Not Nation. I'll be interviewing him for an episode of Dreadlock Talk, and that will probably be on Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. I'll make another post about it. But until the next one, peace.